What happens with a commercial building when it becomes empty?
The value different because it's empty.
Yeah, the value often drops to some extent when it's vacant possession. You've got to pay rates. That's quite annoying, isn't it? That happened in the last few years. What are the rates on this building when it's empty or it's in use? What do you think the rates are on this building? Trying to bloody remember. They're about 35, 40 grand a year. It's a lot of money, isn't it? It's just another tax. And you pay that if this building is occupied, or if it's empty, you pay the same amount of money. So that can be major with the commercial building, can't it? Empty commercial buildings are expensive, really expensive. Therein can lie an opportunity, because when you get an empty commercial building, then there's an opportunity because the landlord will be feeling some pain. So there'll be some money to be made from it. If you buy a commercial building and then you convert it to residential, the first thing you do as soon as you buy it, before you buy it, you'd complete a VAT 1614D form. Okay, and what that does, that will often take, you serve that on the seller, you give it to your solicitor, they serve it on the seller's solicitor, and that will often take the VAT off the purchase price of the building if you're converting it. So you won't need to pay VAT on it. Then as soon as you buy it, as soon as you complete, you ring the VOA up, that's the valuation office, and you say to them, we're converting this to residential. We're putting flats in. We need it taking out of the list. And they'll often take 2 or 3 months to get round there. They'll usually want to see a builder's contract, and they'll also want to see that there's been some major works and the building's been pretty much stripped out, it can't be used as an office anymore or a pub or whatever. Then if it's in the builder's hands and works are actually ongoing, they'll usually remove it from the list and you won't pay any rates on it for the period of the conversion. Then when it's called practical completion, I've tried to argue with them about this and say, well, it's not habitable, people can't live there, but actually it's quite a lot before that. And each council or each VOA office can be a bit different. But generally, if there's heating there, it's watertight, there's fresh water, running water in the building. Have a look at their, rules specifically locally, but usually then they'll start charging you council tax. From a practical point of view, on flats that I've finished recently, I think probably 3 or 4 months before they've really been ready, they've started charging council tax. Just depends how quickly they get onto it. You probably don't want to be ringing them up just before it's ready. But they'll come round and they'll re-inspect it sometimes and start charging council tax, which is good.